What's up, everybody? Zine over here. Welcome to the first official video of LA Forex, right? So, what we have here, first of all, is the dollar index, the DXY. So, because most of my the pairs that I trade are, you know, have to basically have to do with the dollar. This is why I first take a look at the dollar index and see what exactly we have. So I'm just going to do a quick analysis on the dollar index, then move on to the pairs that I actually trade. Okay, so looking at the dollar index, we've got what we seem to view as a minor uptrend, right? And within that uptrend, we've got certain zones that I'm going to be marking out, certain strong areas of support and resistance. We've also got supply and demand zones that we'll be taking a look at, right? So with what I've done here, this is basically a zone that I'm being very mindful of, as the dollar index seem to have been reacting around this area. So if you look to the left, right, if you look to the left on this side, you will notice we have this peak right here, and then we have in that same area over here where the market had a little stutter. Right now, this just shows you that there is something important that happened in this zone. Why do we have the stutter? And then you'll come to see that we had a retest of that area previously, and the market bounced off of that area. Right now, my strategy has a lot to do with manipulation, market makers, and so forth, but we'll get to that at a later stage. So looking at the dollar index here, let me just add a zone here, or a line that basically maps out my quarter theory points. Now that's 94.50, right? 94.50. Now the reason why I have these lines, red and blue lines on my chart, is these are quarter points, and if you don't know about quarter points, fear not, we're going to get to that at a later stage on this channel, so stay tuned and don't worry about it. You'll definitely learn what quarter points have to do with the market and how the market reacts around those zones. So looking at the dollar index, we've got this minor uptrend, but I believe that this is an induction trend. So what I see the dollar doing here is inducing buyer momentum, is inducing the buyer. So normally what people would expect to see in this area here, you're probably going to see people trying to buy right in this zone here, maybe take it to a new high, right? But my expectation on the dollar index is that we're still bearish, and having violated this area here previously, right, and bounced off of it, I see this as now a weak zone where I think the market, as soon as it gets into this area here, we might see a little stutter as well, right? Might have some bounces up and down in this area, but ultimately I see a bearish move happening, right? This is my expectation on the dollar index. So now with this information, I'm going to jump on to the first chart, USDZAR, right? We're going to have a look at USDZAR. As you can see, USDZAR also has what we can view as a minor uptrend, right? And I'm just going to map out this uptrend right here, and I'm just going to take this point and draw it up right here as well. Now we have a channel that USDZAR has been playing in. So as you can see, that we had the bottom of the channel, we tested the top, we came back, tested the bottom of the channel, and we're on our way up, right? So what I see happening here is that we may be bearish just to retest this point before we actually continue to the upside. So this is still in line with the DXY. I do expect to see the USDZAR being a little bit bearish all the way to retest that channel, and then we can see a bullish move. If you notice something here, we actually have a flag pattern that is being drawn in. The market is actually making a flag pattern. So a flag pattern, if you don't know what a flag pattern does, is it is primarily a bullish pattern that you will see on the chart, right? So what I am viewing here is a possible sell-off for the time being, right, to also complete this channel. The flag pattern basically is creating its own, minor downward channel. And what I see happening is we will probably play in here as well, play in here up until we retest that major zone, and then we'll see a possible breakout to the upside. So stay tuned for that one. But going into today, what I hope to see today, right, so that we can have some trading opportunities. Now let me just go on to the M15. What I'm going to add to the chart is session breaks. Now this represents on the M15, this is basically one whole day of movement. In between these dotted lines, these white dotted lines, that's a full day of movement. Now there's one thing I'm going to add again here is my Asian range. Now what the Asian range is basically is the range of movement that the market has from midnight up until 7:30 a.m. South African time, right? If you look at what we have here, we've got the range, right? We've got the range that inside that blue square or rectangle, and what we have currently happening is a breakout of that range. So intraday trades, I am expecting what we can see as a possible W formation that might form on the USDZAR, and we may see this market going up. Reason being is that a breakout from the Asian range is usually a stop hunt movement to induce traders in the wrong direction. So yes, we may be expecting the USDZAR to potentially go further down, right? But at the moment, we are watching what may very well be a stop hunt. So to clarify what I mean by this, let me just do this real quick. Let's remove that. Right. Now we have our Asian range, and draw it in again. We've got our Asian range, right, till about 7:30 or so. Let's just put it right up until here. And then we've got a breakout, right? Now, if you remember, we've got that bearish trend line that I drawn in right there to complete the channel of that flag pattern, right? Now, having it drawn in like this here, what we can expect is that this breakout from that Asian range can also come to this channel line and possibly get a buy into the top of that channel, and then we may see a further downward push from that zone, but only time will tell. So at this point, I am going to be looking for intraday buys on USDZAR. That's my analysis for today. I'm going to be looking for some intraday buys. And guess what, guys? Today's Thursday. So yesterday was Wednesday. We were looking for a midweek reversal. Didn't really get it. So I'm hoping to see the midweek reversal from today. So I'm looking for any form of W pattern that may form on the lower time frames, M15, M5 possibly. And then once I do get that confirmed buy pattern that I'll be looking for, then I will be taking longs up until possibly the 15 level, the 15.0, right? I could look for buys towards that zone. If not, we'll see where to take profit. But all this is done completely fully in my mentorship. So if you want more information, I'd advise you to join the mentorship. So that's what I'm expecting for USDZAR intraday today. Possible buys on USDZAR. We will update this at a later stage. Let's just have a quick look at gold. Now let's see gold on the H1 time frame. So we have on gold, first of all, a peak formation low, right? We've got a peak formation low on that one. Sorry about that. Getting back right to it, we've got a peak formation low, and then we've got the market shooting up, and then we've got this consolidation, and then we've got a breakout of this consolidation. So what I am currently looking for on gold is a possible sell-off just to induce the sellers, but major overall we are expecting a continuation of that buy. So according to my analysis, we're currently in level 2 of the buys. I'm expecting a level 3 push, so we may see some sell-offs today just to induce the sellers, but primarily we are still going long. If we do not get those the sells that we are anticipating, we may just view this area here, the zone, as an area of resistance, and soon as we break above, retest that area, and then the continuation of the buys. So overall with gold, we are expecting buys, which correlates with our bearish dollar on the USDZAR and the bearish dollar index. So overall, I am expecting continuation on the buys of gold. Possibly 1825 is a zone that I'll be targeting should the buy patterns play out. So that's what I'll be looking for on gold. This could either happen in between London and New York, or it could happen fully in New York. So stay tuned for that. I will be updating as the day progresses. For now, I'm signing out. Have a great trading day and be profitable. Stay blessed.